You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 355 of the Better Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
Goals are fun, right? Goals are fun.
Happy Thursday.
It was fun. Happy Thursday. Wow. Just realized that after midnight. Welcome, West Coast.
Yeah. It's look, I enjoy these late night games. And we said, or at least I said, I don't know how you felt, but a draw. So you weren't with us yesterday. A draw is an acceptable
for an away game
when you
just
for an away game,
depending,
especially middle of the week. You've already been on the road for almost a week, right? Because you went from Minnesota straight to San Jose.
Yes.
So although it would have been nice to get the dub, and we probably could have, and maybe even should have, a draw is still acceptable. And I think when I say that there were more positives today, maybe people won't kill me as much as they did last time. Things I think there's still a lot of things that Mascherano's doing that I just don't understand. I don't know. We're going to get to that also. A lot of things that I just don't understand, but he is continuing to tweak things. Even mid-game, he was tweaking things. So I have to give him some credit for that. So just general thoughts for you, Chris.
There were things that he did differently this time that I think he took some advice from some smarter people. Mm-hmm. But then there was some other things that I kind of thought were a little boneheaded, which we're going to get into it. I think that this could have turned out terribly for us in some cases, but then obviously it could have turned out amazing for us.
Yeah. Can I give you one last general thought before we get into the atmosphere and the whole rundown?
Yeah.
I don't think any player has aged as quickly as Ustadi has in front of our eyes.
Oof. Yeah. Oh,
it feels like if you're going far post against Inter Miami, you're either going to hit the post or you're going to score because Ustadi just can't get to that ball. Ustadi, his thing, and look, and I will admit, because I always said I wanted Drake, but I was okay with Ustadi staying as the starter because during the preseason, I felt like he earned it, right? He won the job. And the first week or two or the first month, I'd say, with his feet, he looked great. There were a couple shots that were like, man, Drake probably would have stopped that. But for this team, Ustadi still looks like the better option, right? That's what we were saying. We were saying Drake maybe stops that shot, but Ustadi still, for the way this team wants to play, is still the better option. Yeah. But it's gotten to the point where Ustadi looks old. His reflexes look like a sloth. He cannot react quick to the ball. And I understand that this team wants to play out of the back. They want a goalkeeper that can play with his feet. But you also need a keeper that can keep the ball out of the net.
Yes.
And I think Ustadi, and let's be very clear. Over the last, what has it been, like 6 games or so, we've given up 16 goals. Yeah, you could say that the defense has played poorly, but the defense wasn't playing great last year, and we didn't give up that many goals. And people did not give Drake enough credit for saving our ass because he had a lot of saves, and he saved our ass numerous times.
So are we at the point where we're asking for Rocco now?
No, never.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, we'll never
because that's all we got. That's all we got.
You have to wait for Drake to get back. I don't know how long it takes to get back from hernia surgery, but absolutely no, you don't start Rocco. No, absolutely no.
And Fuck is saying,
look, Drake is good stopping shots. Ustadi is good with his feet. Rocco isn't good at either one of those.
Come on. Come on.
So, all right. Now getting into the game, atmosphere. What did
Oh,
you
it was
think?
amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing in regards of for soccer in America, right? Like,
Mhm.
I think it's a bittersweet feeling to see what was happening in San Jose, where I heard Messi chants throughout several times in the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, the first one I heard was in 75th minute, but yeah.
Well, Taylor Twellman made it sound like the only chant was around like the 90 something minute. No, I heard it earlier, right? But guy, what's up with Soccer Daddy? Danny, no more hot takes, please. What's the I think you're on mute, Danny. So Danny, Soccer Daddy's not gonna be able to hear you. But well, I guess while you load your microphone up, it's a bittersweet feeling to see, right? Like you saw a lot of support behind San Jose, but then at the same time, you heard a lot of Messi fans. Hopefully, they can like retain 10% of them to be able to be fans for their team. So,
Yeah. Look, I thought the atmosphere was great. They had the, I mean, I don't know if they had like crazy stars, right? It's San Jose. Not many people
yeah,
living out there, but
yeah,
I believe Baron Davis was out there.
he
Kittle was
was.
out there. Joe Thornton was out there. NHL
Yes.
player for those that will follow hockey. So there's a couple big names out there. I think it's more people in the tech world probably that bought up those tickets, but it had a big game feel.
Yeah, it did. And it was nice to see it. And San Jose is like a very historic team in the MLS. So to
Mhm.
see that sort of atmosphere for such a, I guess, a historic team for whatever that's worth in the United States of America, MLS soccer, it was nice. It was nice. I think, listen, Fabian Rankel predicted 3-3.
He did. He
Well,
did.
yeah, on the money. If he would have put the house on it, he would have had two houses.
You predicted on the money 3-3. I don't think Miami should have given up that many goals. But then again, our midfield was non-existent. So
Yeah. We're going to have to run through this
yeah,
because there's some positives and there's some negatives. And I feel like this is just like a little quick band-aid, just bang. Like, here's a little band-aid. Hold off until Orlando. That's because that's what it is. This little tie game. So here we have the starting 11, guys. For those of you on audio, sorry that you can't see it, but you have Ustadi, goalkeeper in the back. You have the back four, Alba, left back, Weigant, right back, making the start over Ian Frey. Noah
yeah.
Allen starting in his normal role. And then instead of Lujan, we got Falcon finally. We got the double pivot with Busquets and Bright. We got Kremaki on the left wing, Allende on the right wing, which they swapped like in the 20th minute. And then you have Segovia and Messi as the top. That's how you have it set up.
How did you see it play out? I felt like they had Segovia and Messi up as I thought they played a 4-4-2.
I felt like they kind of exchanged at times. Messi sometimes would go high.
What I did notice, and in the second half, they pushed Segovia back, and they let Allende play as that second forward because they saw how high and aggressive San Jose was with the press, and they needed to stretch the field. And to do that, they needed Allende up top. So again, that was an in-game adjustment that Mascherano I felt made, and that made me feel, again, I don't feel great about Mascherano. I'm not a big Mascherano fan or supporter.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find the positives, and I think that was another positive. I also thought Segovia didn't have a bad game, for those of you putting a thumbs down.
It wasn't a great game, Danny. He got better as the game progressed. But the beginning of the game, he was a lost puppy. Completely lost.
I think once they put him out in the midfield again, where he had space to roam and create, I think that he looked better. Right? Even as a forward, even though I didn't mind when I saw the starting lineup, I was like, okay, Segovia, Messi up top. I guess he can combine with Messi up there. But Segovia is best in the middle of the pitch. And when they put Allende up top and they let Segovia play, I forgot if it was left mid or right mid, but I think it might have been left mid. When he was out there and he had that whole left quadrant to work in, I thought he looked better.
So, Xavier Penny saying Ustadi has become as reliable as Danny's microphone.
Very great comment. It's already gone out twice. You guys might, I don't know if you might have noticed once. This other time I was a little more subtle about it. but it's already gone out twice. So.
And look, the Adarsh, you're pointing out, Bright literally lost 2 to 3 balls in dangerous areas.
There was one that was horrible that led to a
Yes.
straight counterattack. Yeah, there was a really bad one.
But listen, Messi made the same turnover right after.
But this is the thing, and Adarsh, bear with me here because you might not want to hear it, and I get it, but that's never been Bright's strength.
Never.
And he has improved in that aspect. So yeah, they had some bad giveaways, but when you look at his overall game, the way he's been pushing,
Well, he's literally, I mean, there you go, right there. There's a goal allowed by Ustadi, right? You're not going to get the laugh there, guys. Sorry. Unfortunately, look, are we grading on a curve here? Maybe, because Yannick Bright is not Messi, but Yannick Bright's improved. And on top of that, he stole like 472 balls today. Like, there was 2 goals, at least from what I remember, that were started with him getting the steal.
Bright, again, he's given us more than he gave us last year, and he gave us a lot last year. Yeah, I mean, he's still green when it comes to the attack, but he's growing in that role. And when he gets even better in that role, appreciate Bright while you have him, because once he gets that down, he's not going to be with us very much longer.
And I'll tell you this much. This is a good question, but at the same time, I hold on. I think I lost it. Vice Rosa saying everyone has to put Obando, and now everyone is saying he sucks. What else do you want? The thing is, Allende filled that role. Like, at least Allende filled that role in like as the game progressed. And Allende is more of a striker-ish player. Allende wasn't playing that last game at all. No. Like, we didn't even have a striker last game. Right. We didn't have any notes of a striker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Obando
was better than last game.
Yeah, I mean, Obando just got completely lost. Let's go to a super slam here by Rock Emu. Does Messi care about Miami's current situation?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's invested.
Did you watch after the game was over?
No, I didn't watch.
I saw I don't know if he didn't want to play against Orlando or what, but he started bitching at the ref because of that foul that he felt like he got fouled on top of the box, right, like 92nd, 93rd minute.
Yeah,
and he kept bitching. He got the yellow. He walked away, and I thought he was basically at the locker room almost entrance, and then he came back and he kept going, and the ref's like, "Yo, do you want the red?" I think Messi said, "Yeah, sure, give it to me." Like I dare you almost. And I was like, "What are you doing, my guy? What are you doing?"
Juan is saying he was about to smack the ref in the neck. What?
Yeah. Well, he's referring to that smack in the neck he gave to the NYCFC coach. Remember?
Well, Vice Rosa is saying Messi hates that ref, and it's not the only time he's argued with that ref. And then that Bruce Arena separated Messi from the ref.
He was standing in the middle, yeah. But by coincidence, he was standing there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got off. I'm sorry, Soccer Daddy, but I got off when I saw Bruce Arena, and then I, ran over here to the computer.
He said, "What happens first? My mic works, or Inter Miami gets a clean sheet?"
I think we might get a clean sheet, and that's
yeah.
We're allowing goals.
Yeah, because I'm never gonna get a new mic.
Yeah.
All right. Now I will tell you that I feel like Messi is very frustrated with the MLS refs.
Yeah.
But I mean that's what we got. Like, I mean, I'm sure he gets frustrated. I'm sure he was frustrated in other places also. But yeah, our refs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if they're better in the other parts of the world. Whatever. So all in all, starting 11. Were you pleased with the starting 11?
No. Why is Ian Frey not playing? Why is Segovia as a set striker? Why is he?
But he made that change during the game.
He did. He ended up making changes, but as far as like the starting lineup, I thought to myself, dude, Weigand again. And then what kind of really scares me is that he brought Lujan in for Weigand.
Well, I told you, I
That's
think
scary.
Luhan's a better right back than a center back.
No, but the thing is, how are you going to play Luhan in for Wagon when you haven't even given Frey the opportunity? Like, you're not giving him any minutes. That's scary. That means there's something happening in the shadows where either Ian Frey's not performing up to his standard or there's like this conflict.
You think Frey has to leave?
I don't know, dude, but there's something happening.
Yeah,
like I said,
mean,
it's either he's not playing up to his standard or there's a conflict between him and Mascherano in some way, shape, or form.
what I think is really odd is that usually like gas bags like us talk about players, right? And like, we don't know anything. But even like people that cover the sport, like on, CBS, ESPN, Apple, whatever, even Taylor Twitman's like, Ian Frey's a baller. Like,
yes,
I feel like everybody sees it. Ian Frey and Yannick Bright, those two names are constantly mentioned as like unsung heroes for Inter Miami. And I feel like, well, I think Drake is undeniable, but Ian Frey, for some reason, just can't get through. I don't know what. There has to be something that we just don't know about because it doesn't make sense.
There has to be, because the thing is, Bright clearly plays better than Redondo. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to go about that. And especially considering that he just had this comment about Bright not playing 90 minutes, and Bright hasn't complained once about playing a bunch of minutes. But then here we have Frey, who's clearly better for sure than Lujan. Let's just keep the status quo and say he's not better than Wagon, and it's arguable. But then you're going to put him in for you're going to put Lujan in for him.
Yeah,
that's where I draw the line there. That's where I'm thinking something's happening, and nobody knows about it.
Lujan, if Lujan was going to hit the pitch, I would put him out as a fullback, as a right back.
I wouldn't put him as any back. He can go back to where he came
I'm just saying
if
that
you were to ask me,
if he's going to come into the game, that's where I would put him. That's all I'm saying.
What team did he come from? Racing, I think.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. Wherever he came from,
I do remember everybody pointing out that on Twitter, those fans of that team were happy that he was gone.
Yes, and this was an awful deal so far.
And I think
he's one of the most awful players. See what happens when you talk about Lujan? A goal is allowed. Ustadi with another goal, aka Danny's microphone just got disconnected. That's what happens when you talk about Lujan in a defensive perspective. And here we are. Yes, Mike V saying he can go right back home. That is his position. Right back home. I'm good with that. That is a great position. So other than that, look, I'll look. What happened?
I can't deal with this frustration. This is pissing me off.
Well, I mean, you need the cable. You need the super duper cable, or you just don't move it like how I don't move it.
I don't move it either.
Nah, there's something happening. There's movement there. Okay, buddy.
Somebody's asking if Baltasar's injured already. Yes, I believe it was 17 minutes that he got to play, and then he left with injury. Yeah.
I mean, this is Coco Jean all over again.
No,
this is cool.
But you know what? Well, we'll get into it when we get into the game.
So let's get into the game. Danny, this game had no shortage of surprises. Within the first minute, off of a corner, off of a set, not even off of a set piece, but it was a corner, but then it was rebounded back to Jordi Alba.
Yeah,
And then Jordi Alba with a beautiful cross. Like, I mean, his pinpoint passing is immaculate. Gets it right onto Maxi Falcon's noggin. And I think to myself, this is why you start this guy over Lujan, because Lujan's not getting that goal.
No, probably not. You know who would get that goal? Ian Frey.
Yes.
Ian
Frey for sure.
Get that goal.
That's guaranteed.
For sure.
Guaranteed. So that's within that's within what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds,
35th second or something like that. Yeah,
that was, I mean, Darsh is mentioning, look, Alba is so good, man. The passing is
well, Alba is finally being used higher up in the pitch. And when they put in David Martinez, Jordi Alba was just basically playing in the midfield. They gave him more freedom to push up to try to get that game-winning goal. So Jordi Alba is finally being utilized the way he was being utilized last year with Tata, which is great to see. Again,
Yes.
that's something, and I understand that everybody's, and I get it. Amanda said that he's finally back in form. I also think that they're finally letting him play because I felt like they were holding him back earlier this year. So I really like to see what Jordi Alba was doing today. Yeah, Mascherano out. Yeah, we're getting there.
I mean, Jordan Ramos is just rubbing it in. Meanwhile, Dos Santos saved the PK today.
Dos Santos has been horrible this year. Jordan, I'm sorry. He may have saved a PK. He has not been good this year.
CJ, those striker is on one.
No, he's given away goals. You've been watching.
I look, you say tomato, I say tomato. He's way better than what we have right now.
No.
Yes or no?
No.
We have an injured Drake Callender, and then we have a transparent Oscar Ustadi that plays good soccer with his feet. So,
and what am I lying about, Shady B? Dos Santos has not been good this year.
He hasn't been bad.
Yes, he has been bad.
Nah, listen, it's probably like very minimal. Shady B, let's move on. Okay, let's not even get to that. So the first goal, what did you think of the first goal? A minute into the game.
I was thrilled to see
finally
Jordi Alba.
Oh, yes. Get
Jordi
involved.
Alba getting involved. I was thrilled to see that. 16 goals. Junior Dos Santos has given up 16 goals for the person asking.
I mean, look, and Anonymous is saying Chris, stop it. Ustadi is better. Get out of here. Like, Ustadi had his look. You want to know something? There's this philosophy in American football that if your hands get it, you should catch it. Right? There was a goal that he could have stopped on his left side, and he let it roll past him. It wasn't even that powerful. Why can't he block shots? Moving on. Minute 3. San Jose Earthquakes, Shatterquakes, decide to come in for a revenge, and Espinosa decides to play his best Messi and assist Chicho Arango with a quick return, quick goal immediately.
Who was that goal on?
Well, that goal apparently was on.
Were you watching?
Yes, I was watching. Yes, it was.
Ustadi had a horrible outlet pass to Noah Allen. Noah Allen was standing basically right to his side, and he passed it up ahead. It was terrible.
So the thing is, Falcon passes it to Ustadi, and at that point, that's when you see the center backs sort of spread out, right? Mm-hmm. They spread, and then they kind of distribute it wide. Ustadi just acted really quickly and tried to get it out to Noah Allen, and Noah Allen wasn't prepared for it. It's not Noah Allen's fault. There's like a standard, a protocol that happens in that point.
It was completely Ustadi's fault. I don't know where he was passing it.
Yeah, it was. That was a really bad, very bad outlet pass by him. And then on top of that, it's a quick return when we could have just maintained the game a little bit better.
If they don't score that quickly, this game turns out differently, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that completely took the sails out of our win. Like the win out of our sails. It really because I felt like Miami was like, all right, we got this. We scored quickly. We were gonna be aggressive, and I felt like giving up that goal in the return right after. I felt like that really brought our team down a bit. And I think that really helped San Jose more than people are giving it credit for, because I really do think that a lot of this game is mental, and I think that really turned things around for them.
This is a good question by Jay Urieta. Says, do you think he felt pressured, or is he just old and sloppy? And that's that's a really good question. I think that's a really good question to ask.
But everybody that plays against San Jose is going to feel the pressure, because that's what Chicho Arango
super high
and Buda, they all press. They press high. They are very aggressive with the press. You can beat them with the long ball, but they are very aggressive with the press, and that's what they do. So it wasn't just him that felt the pressure. Everybody feels the pressure. Now you figure that somebody is good with their feet. That's like the perfect keeper to have in this scenario. But he gave in one, which look, it's fine. I you know what? Him making that mistake didn't bother me as much as the next two goals that San Jose scored and the possible third that got called back on offside, because he just looks old, right? That giveaway, as much as it sucks, and I think it was 100% his fault, every once in a while somebody has a boneheaded play. But I felt like in those other two goals and one that could have been a goal, he just looked so slow reacting to those balls.
Well, I mean, look, again, you mentioned that he's great with his feet. And I don't think it's terms of like that I don't want to say that he's nervous, but at the same time, like you mentioned, San Jose presses a lot. So yeah, there was a little bit more pressure than what he's probably accustomed to. But when it comes to blocking shots, like that's your number one, like your job as a goalie is to block shots. And if you can't block shots, then I don't know.
Toniak said that the last one wasn't his fault. It was the shot was in the corner. I mean, technically, all of them were, but
yeah,
I felt like he could have gotten a hand on them. I think somebody with faster reflexes gets to some of those balls. I've seen Drake get to plenty of those.
Yeah, and so. GB is saying Ustadi is 39. He needs to go. Well, we got Rocco waiting, so I'll keep moving on, I guess. Then, Danny.
Yeah.
So we got substitutions that end up happening due to injuries. So Chicho Arango gets injured in the 30th minute or something like that. In the 31st minute, they make a substitution.
Up until this point, the first 30 minutes of the game, or let's say the first 31 minutes, right? Because Chicho Arango now gets taken out of the game. How are you?
No, it was just complete back and forth. There was no certainty. I didn't feel any sort of certainty in the first 30 minutes. Like I didn't feel one way or the other about it. This was just way too much madness.
When I felt like Miami could pull off another goal or two, the way the game was going. And when Chicho went down with an injury and Joseph didn't come in to replace him, I thought we should win this game. That's what I was thinking.
But the thing is, Joseph just recently got injured too. So it's not like he would
right,
have been...
Right, and it makes sense that they didn't put him in that early, but I'm just saying, like, I felt like their firepower went out the window with him and Joseph not being in the game. So at that point, I felt like Miami should win this game.
Yeah. I mean, again, I thought after Chicho got subbed out, I'm like, okay, this is better. But like up until that point, I didn't feel really positive one way or the other.
And Joseph was a non-factor once he finally came on. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, they were working it. If you notice, they were working it on the sides a lot more than working it through the middle. But at the same time, like Joseph is a capitalizer. Like he helped to build up one time towards the end, but he never got the ball back. So, but after the substitution was made, Danny, they made sure to let us know that they're here to win. And Bo LaRue, who is a homegrown, ends up getting the second goal for San Jose in the 37th minute. I feel like this is the one, if I remember correctly, that was shot, and it was on the left side of Ustadi where it could have been blocked. I'm not sure if that was the second or the third goal. I believe it was this one.
I believe it was this one also, and those goals.
Yeah.
I felt like
the midfield was a little open.
It was non-existent. I felt like they were connecting to their final third with the greatest of ease, and I felt like our defenders just weren't. I don't know if they felt lackadaisical. They just weren't. Yeah. They just didn't seem engaged for some reason. Like the way that these players on San Jose would get the ball and have time to turn around and then choose a corner that they want to shoot into before somebody actually got their foot out. It was just odd to me. It was odd to me. I thought that the whole defensive line had a really bad game.
Well, it's such a weird thing to analyze, though, Danny, because if you really think about it, like San Jose offensively is really good. Like, they're really good offensively, Danny. They have crazy weapons. They have guys that can be able to put goals, put balls on the back of the net. But it's at the same time, like, they're not great defensively, but offensively, they'll put a number on you.
All right, so let's do this right here.
See if we don't get blocked here.
This is the second goal.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not playing. You can go ahead and press the play button, and then okay. So boom, it's a one-touch blaster. Yes, to the left of Ustadi, literally on the volley.
And he had all the time in the world to take the shot. They're gonna show a replay, I'm sure. He had all the time in the world to take the shot. And Ustadi, how does Ustadi not get down and get that ball out?
Yeah, that was awful. Awful attempt. He had his hand on the ball. If you got your hand on it, you got to block that. That's on you, Poppy. Like, the defenders played well defense. They played defense very well in that segment. They found an opening.
Oh, they're not going to show the replay? Oh, there it goes. And, yeah, man, look, everybody's kind of just watching the ball. Well, I guess somebody doubled. What was that? Passed it off to him. Was that Lujan? No, couldn't have been Lujan. I'm looking at it backwards. That's Busquets. My fault. Well, Ustadi should have gotten that. And I think either Chris froze or I froze. It's one or the other. But I felt like Ustadi should have gotten that. And that's when I started thinking Ustadi definitely is showing his age, which was very, very frustrating to see. But we kept going, and the defense kept looking completely out of sorts. So we move on. Oh, okay. And then it was Chris that's frozen. All right. Not me this time. Thank God. And then I guess I'll go on with the recap since Chris isn't here. After that, we went ahead and that was in the 38th minute. And then Tadeo Allende, on a fast break, I believe it was the fast break where it was Messi got the ball at the halfway line. He saw Jordi Alba streaking down the left side. He caught Jordi Alba on the run. And Jordi Alba does what he does best when he goes down that left side. He crossed it, and Tadeo Allende, being the only player that we can have that stretches the field at all, got on the other end of it and knocked it home. And that was the second goal. At that point, I was feeling pretty good. I thought that Miami was finally getting things going. Allende, it was great to see him get the ball in the back of the net. The fact that he was playing higher up, stretching the field, I just felt good. I really thought that the game was going to turn around at that point. But as we saw in the 49th minute or right before half, they gave up another goal, just like the second one. Really, it felt almost identical. The San Jose player went ahead. They had time on the ball to pick a corner, chose the far post, and Ustadi is just too slow to get down and across to save it. And that was it. No, Chris is coming back. For those of you saying, Chris is coming back. But yeah, that third goal was frustrating because of the fact that it looked almost the same as the second goal. With the defenders didn't step up to who was it that scored that? Ian Harks. They didn't stick up to Ian Harks quickly enough, and they allowed him to take that shot far post. Ustadi couldn't get to it in time, and that's all she wrote. And that's how we went into the half.
I was scared. If you want to ask me how I felt by the halftime, Ustadi handles the ball very, very well, Dennis. There. I said something nice about Ustadi, so that way I don't get attacked during the podcast. I think I was very scared, Danny. I don't know about you, but by the halftime, I was trembling. I was trembling because San Jose is the kind of team that they could take off and score a bunch. Look at that, man. Look at that. Like just a little bit more of a instant flinch could have gotten you that block.
Yeah, man. Look, I really do think that the defense was poor. Somebody just said, Ardar said you can't blame Mascherano. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it couldn't be all Mascherano. He literally, I don't know. I don't know. I blame a lot of this game on Ustadi, to be honest with you. And some people might say that last goal, yeah, it was far post. Might be difficult to get a hand on, but I think another keeper might. I've seen Drake do pretty well. I don't know. Maybe that last one couldn't have been stopped.
My name is Jeff. It says MLS and Apple about to cut Danny's internet for infringement. Yeah, I mean, it was blasted in the corner, Bruno, but like, I feel like Calendar would have gotten that. Is that what we're going to be doing here? We're just going to look at it and be like, could Calendar have gotten that? Like, and then everybody's, and then everybody's going to be like, oh, you guys love American soccer players. Calendar, blah. And then look,
how are you feeling at halftime?
Here comes the number one agenda guy, Pedri Potter. Welcome back. Says that's a perfect goal. What the F? These bums are just running agendas at this point. We're agenda runners, Pedri.
I'm sorry. Ustadi, to me, in this game, I thought he was really poor. All right. How are you feeling at half?
At half, I was trembling. And now that Pedri Potter's here, I'm even more scared. Yeah.
I hadn't seen Pedri in a while.
I miss you, Pedri.
In a while, yeah.
But like, don't let everybody know that we're running agendas here, okay?
Yeah.
My God, Pedri is going on another level here. Jesus.
So you were terrified. I'm curious, in just a few words, how the chat was feeling at halftime. At halftime, I still felt pretty good. Because I felt like those two goals, although the midfield was non-existent and they had a time to take those shots, I felt like Chicho's out. I can't imagine them scoring any more that way, and we're going to get some. Like, there's going to be some changes made, and that's how I was feeling. And they didn't end up scoring anymore, even though they should have scored one more, but they didn't end up scoring anymore. Well,
I felt like, look, I think with this team, you're always welcome to expect to come back, or you can feel comfortable in saying, well, I expect for us to tie this back. But with the way that we've been playing recently, it's been a little hard to kind of put the faith in to that sort of thing. I mean, look, Upcode saying it here. Halftime, I was unsure. I was unsure too. And we have a great team.
Yeah. All right. So at halftime, Baltasar Rodriguez makes an appearance. He comes in and substitutes Ben Kramaki, or Ben Krem as we call him. And this is what the second half was looking like. This is how I felt it started. Go ahead.
I just want to ask a question of Pedri Potter. Pedri Potter, I just want you to answer this. Just one word. Am I allowed to like soccer? Yes or no? Because you're here to expose American agenda. Just answer the question. Yes or no? Am I allowed to like soccer? Okay.
What do you think the agenda is?
I don't know. Okay. Go ahead, Danny. Let's wait to see what he says.
All right. So backline stayed the same. Busquets and Bright still the double pivot. But that Allende was playing that second forward spot. Segovia was now pushed back more into the center pitch, and then you had Baltasar Rodriguez down on the right side. And the little bit that we got to see, those 17 minutes, didn't look bad. Bad. Segovia drifting into the middle, Alba making those overlap runs into the left wing, Baltasar Rodriguez running down the right, Allende in the box, Messi just with the freedom to just roam wherever he wants. I thought, okay, this could work. And we scored soon thereafter, right?
Yes, we did. We ended up scoring, and look at that. Baltasar Rodriguez, who was the substitution, ends up making an assist. And I believe it was Messi who set up Baltasar Rodriguez, who literally took it one touch, crossed it right down the pike in the middle. where left-footed Tadeo Allende, boom, puts it in the back of the net. And it was a really nice play.
Clear, and Segovia got that ball, I want to say from our own half, down the left side, and he basically brought the ball all the way up into the final third. And then that's when he gave it over to Messi over to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez over to Allende. But Segovia got that going. And yeah, it was nice to see Baltasar Rodriguez finally on the pitch, immediately contributed with an assist, which was nice to see also. What did you think of the first 17 minutes of Baltasar Rodriguez?
I thought he was okay. I mean, I think there's questions to be asked here, right? Is he going to be a person that can work well off the wing? Is he going to be a Segovia that has like a good string of games in the beginning of his tenure, and then all of a sudden you kind of want something different from him because you start to see the cracks? Like, that's kind of what I want to see. But unfortunately, we only saw him for 17 minutes because he got injured or something happened, and he got subbed in for freaking Alan Obando, who I imagine Mascherano didn't even want him to play.
No, I agree with you there. But like, when I see Baltasar, I wonder, like, what are we doing? As far as signing players, I get that if they have an injury history, you could probably get them on the cheaper side, but they might not play. And like, I feel like we're suffering through this. We like Faria. Remember Farias? Nicolas Farias, Freire, the center back last year. Injury history, played a couple good games, got injured. Last year, David Martinez, injury history, played a couple games, got injured. Like, we're bargain shopping, and at some point, if you want to win, you got to stop bargain shopping and bring some guys that you know can not only contribute but stay on the pitch. The most important ability is availability.
Well, and Sean is saying right here, seems like Baltasar came in with an injury, and Racing was tight-lipped about it.
Nice.
That wouldn't surprise me. Listen, somebody mentioned earlier Facundo Farias. Facundo Farias was a flash in the pan. Like, he was.
You never got to really see him.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, tell me I miss Diego Gomez, okay, I'll accept that. If you tell me that you missed, what's this guy, the left-footed guy that ended up going to like a team in Argentina, I forgot what his name is. You're not gonna bail me out. It's Matias Rojas. Like, if you tell me those guys, then I'll accept that. But at the same time, like, Facundo Farias, get out of here. I thought the signings at the end of this time were kind of worthless.
One more we'll go saying the training staff. We have tremendous amount of injuries.
Yeah.
Steve Aoki isn't our trainer anymore, is he? I haven't seen him.
No, I haven't seen Steve Aoki recently.
So, yeah, it looks like we changed training staffs, but it's still not working out.
It's not working out. Regardless, with Steve Aoki, without Steve Aoki, we're completely cooked because Baltasar Rodriguez only made it 17 minutes. Alan Obando was a forced substitution.
You know, I think Matias Rojas was a miss. We should have figured out a way to keep him.
He wanted more money, though.
Then you give him more money.
Yeah,
I think Matias Rojas would have been a really big contributor to this team.
I think he would have been a way bigger contributor to this team other than Lujan. Probably better than
out there. But you could have played him out at the right wing. I think he was versatile to play a couple positions. I would have liked to see Matias Rojas still here.
Yeah, but then Dennis Lopez is saying I also miss Robbie Taylor. Robbie Taylor played the wing as well.
But that was the thing about Matias Rojas, is that
we got him for like $5.
Matias Rojas also was Argentine, so he would play.
Wasn't he from Paraguay?
Okay, he was South American, right? Yes. As long as you are from Argentina, Uruguay, or Paraguay, you're good.
Yeah, I think he was from Paraguay. I mean, Mike V is saying Farias played less than Robbie Robinson.
Yeah, he did actually.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, there was a couple substitutions made by San Jose. we ended up subbing Gonzalo Lujan in for Wagon at the 70th minute.
I can't imagine your face when you saw that.
Oh my gosh, I was dying inside. I couldn't believe it. My name is Jeff is asking Danny, Chris, what did you guys think of Segovia playing in the middle? That's when we got better.
Yeah, once he dropped back from not playing in the top, being a forward, and he dropped back into midfield, I thought he played much better. I thought he played well. He was the contributing. He was the one that got that third goal going. It started, I guess I should say.
Yeah, and I thought the moment that they started doing that, where him and Messi were sort of alternating, but still maintaining the middle of the pitch, I thought that the game moved progressively smoother. I felt like things opened up a little bit better. People were able to take positions in spaces that they're more comfortable with. We were able to make line-breaking runs, make better plays in the final third. Jeez. Just hit you guys with a machine gun.
There was a goal there by San Jose where they called it offside, which was another goal that I believe went far post that I also thought Ustadi should have gotten a hand on.
Yes.
He didn't. Luckily, it was offside. But we lucked out because no more goals after that. Dai Martinez comes in for Segovia. Redondo comes in for Bright, like we know it's going to always happen. Yeah. And it looked like at that point, Noah Allen went to play left back. They let Jordi Alba push up to where Segovia was playing. Yes. And that's kind of how they finished the game, chasing that last goal, which unfortunately didn't come.
Well, and then you saw Lujan also pushing up the right side as well when they brought him in, fresher legs or whatnot. After that, I mean, you got a couple yellow cards. David Martinez ends up coming in 10 minutes later for Telasco Segovia, and then Redondo ends up coming in for Yannick Bright at the 82nd minute. Other than that, those are basically all your goals, guys. Those were the substitutions. There's the goals. 3-3 tie. We get a point on the road.
What did you think about that non-call for Messi on top of the box in like the 92nd, 93rd minute?
I felt like that was a good non-call. That was a good non-call. There was
I wanted to see another angle of it, and they didn't show us a better angle.
No, but from what the angles we saw, I only saw two. Minimal contact at best.
I only saw one.
You see the far view, right, of when the actual play happened, and then after that, they gave you like sort of a view from the rear. Pause. And you could be able to see that there was a little bit of contact, but nothing out of this world, right? I mean, if you just let him play, it happens.
Yeah, I don't know. From what I saw, I didn't think that it was a foul, but I really wanted to see another view, and he didn't give us that other view, which I thought was really frustrating because I know they had other views. They had to have had better views. So I think that really sucked that they didn't give us that. Fava still has the migraine.
Yeah, he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah. Sagardai is saying 100% a foul.
But I don't know. Look, Darce is saying, no, Chris, we have to be biased towards our team. I think we have to be a little critical as well. Like, I don't like to be biased. What average dumb Chris take as usual? Pedri, come on, Pedri, Peter. Keep talking like that. People are gonna figure me out, man.
Well, and then Shady B says something that is true. Messi isn't necessarily somebody that dives, but that's why I wanted to see the other view, because from the view that they showed us, it looked like there wasn't much contact, if any. Yeah. So everybody here is going based off of, but he never flops. But that's why I wanted to see the replay.
That's what Tony Axe is saying.
Yeah.
They insinuated that it was a dive.
Right.
That there was contact. I mean, I don't think that – Darce is saying it was a foul. So Darce is supporting Pedri in this. Okay, Pedri, you got people that are supporting your stance here. Okay. I felt like it was minimal contact at best, but I'm the kind of guy that if you ask me, I'd let him play through it.
Well, one of the things I always appreciated about Messi,
Is
always
that he
throughout his
doesn't
career,
flop.
is that he's not much of a flopper, right? He doesn't really
Yeah.
do that. So I always appreciated that. So I get that people are going based off of that, but from what I saw, I
Yeah.
would have liked to see another view because the way as angry as he got, because he got really angry after the game, I would have
Yeah.
loved to see it, but I don't think the angle they gave us really uh, showed us much.
I don't know. Game's over, 3-3. They're not gonna go back and let us play the last 2 minutes of the game, so it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, Sean. I am not gonna do that. If you guys want to sit here and you want to blame the referees, like you're gonna be screaming at a wall for the rest of your life.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Standouts. Chris, were there any standouts for you this game?
Jordi Alba.
Okay. Yeah.
Jordi Alba was a standout to me. And then I'll give you another standout was Allende. Allende, I think, filled a good role in the team with us missing Luis Suarez. So those two are going to be my standouts.
Okay. I can rock with those two.
Oh, look, Adar said
If
the same thing. I guess I do
it,
have ball knowledge.
I, I guess if I could just take a portion of the game, Segovia when he got dropped into the midfield, I thought had a decent game.
That's good.
Baltasar Rodriguez, I thought for the 17 minutes, right? He contributed, gave us a little danger on the right side. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he's out for who knows how long again. I think that's about it. Pedri is a standout. Okay.
I think he might get the que pena later.
So those were some standouts. What did you think of Obando?
He was nothing. He was a nothing burger out there. People want to talk about American burger leagues. He was a nothing burger. He came on and he got lost. Like he played, I don't know what I saw, but I think he was in the right wing at sometimes. Then he dropped back further than Messi. Like
No, he was playing that like a right forward. It almost looked like him and Allende were on the right, Segovia and Messi were on the left. Obando 11 touches in his 30 minutes of play. So, yeah. All right. Que Pena Awards. Chris. Oh, did Chris freeze for the Que Pena Awards? Oh, how disappointing. Chris loves this part. All right. So, Que Pena Awards, I ask the chat before I give you mine. Who would you give the Que Pena Award to today? I think it's pretty easy. At least for me. I know Pedri might disagree because he came out defending him, but I think that the Que Pena Award easily goes to Ustari, like everybody here is saying. Ustari. I definitely think it was Ustari. Let's see who else. Ustari and Crema. Upcode. Okay, throwing Crema in there. Let's see. Sean saying Ustari. Mr. Krabs, Ustadi gets the Que Pena. Shady B, Ustadi, Crema, and Busi. Darsh gave it to Chris and Ustadi. All right. So wait till I tell Chris that he got some Que Pena awards. Because Chris, now that you're in the backstage, just so you know, you ended up with a lot of the Que Pena awards.
what?
Yeah.
Why?
Your ball knowledge, I guess.
Oh my goodness, my ball knowledge is not up to par this night at this morning.
Yeah, it's late,
my
right? It's
goodness.
1:40 in the morning. God damn it! I wanted to go to the gym in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. So
Yeah.
Que Pena, so Chris gets the Que Pena along with Ustari. I think those are the hands out. I think just about everybody said Ustari and then Chris.
Yeah, I got to give it to Ustadi. The only other person that I think, I don't want to give it to Ben Krem because he played okay.
You know who I
It
hate
was-
to say had a bad game? Just because I like him so much. I think
Is
Noah
Ki-
Allen had a bad game.
You think he did? I don't think
Yeah.
he had a bad game. I
think he had a
don't
bad
think he had a stellar game.
I think Noah Allen had a bad game.
And look, I didn't even see the comment, and I do want to talk about this, Adarsh. Let's talk Crema for a minute. I just want to see. I want to mention something. There was a perfect pass by Allende to Ben Krem early in the game when we were attacking, and he, instead of just tapping it like Allende did later in the game, he ends up tapping it, passing it to our attacking monster Yannick Bright. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think they called him out on the broadcast for that. They're like, if you put that anywhere on goal, it goes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he puts it to Yannick Bright. And it wasn't even as effective of a pass. And then on top of that, Yannick Bright doesn't know what to do with a football.
Yeah. No.
Or he's just learning what to do with a football other than steal it.
But Fafa is not there, unfortunately. Do you think the changes that we've seen over the last two games, do you think when Suarez comes back, that helps him? I think that could help him, even though we're playing against Orlando, which just randomly became like the best defensive team in like MLS history over the last 2 months.
But the thing is, okay, you're thinking it'll help, or you're asking the question if it'll help. What's going to change around him? Because if we're going to keep putting Segovia at the wing, it's not going to help. If we're going to keep putting Ben Krem at the wing, it's not going to help. So, like, what are we doing that's going to change anything?
Yes, Baltasar injured again. Yeah. 17 minutes is what we got out of him.
Yeah.
For that was Mo asking. All right. So, man of the match other than Messi.
Man of the match other than Messi is going to be Allende for me. I should have made the bet. I didn't.
Okay.
But,
I'm gonna go Jordi Alba.
Okay. Those are two.
Jordi Alba was the MVP of this team last year outside of Messi.
Yeah.
We built up our attack up the left side. I think it was like 60 or 70% of the time. That was the game plan last year, and people knew it was coming, and it still worked. Over the last two games, Jordi Alba is finally pushing up again. He's been given the freedom to attack, to cross the ball, and they have Noah Allen filling in that space behind. And I understand that's how you get beat on the counter and whatever. But it helps in the attack because that's where we need the help. Okay, and I'm really glad that we're finally seeing that. So to me, Jordi Alba was the man of the match other than Messi.
And I mean, other than that, like, who do any of you in the chat know who got like the terrible scores from those stupid scoring websites?
I'm actually on the website right now. I'll tell you right now.
That don't give really good scores, anyways.
All right, here we go. Lowest score.
Lowest score. I'm just gonna take a stab at this, and you're talking about starters, right? Not like bench people.
And don't look at the chat because then they start.
No, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm looking. They're on this side. I'm not looking at them. I'm gonna go with out of the starters. I'm gonna go with Ustadi.
Correct, a 4.2.
Okay, and a field player. I'm gonna go with Wagon.
Correct, 5.9.
Bang! Look at that.
Ball knowledge.
Look at that. I don't know my shit, guys. What the fuck? You guys get the whole chat. You guys get the Que Pena award tonight. All of you.
Who had the highest grade that did not have a goal contribution? So I could make it easier for you. The three players that had goal contributions were Alba, Falcon, and Allende, and Baltasar Rodriguez, actually. Yes, Messi. But
that's my ball knowledge, though. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
That's just what I do.
There you go. Ball knowledge, baby. All right, Chris. We're wrapping it up here. We're at the hour mark. It's about to be 2 a.m. And somebody asked, yes, I usually go to the gym with very minimal sleep, but usually it's 4 to 5 hours, not 2 to 3. Like it was looking like it might be tonight, so we'll see. I might not make it. Chris, any final thoughts?
I'm fucking sleepy, bro. Let's get
well, real quick. The Mascherano, does the hate subside a little bit because of today's game? Is it still at the same level? Are you feeling better? And let me ask the chat. We have 150 people in here. Some of you guys respond, but just let me know. Mascherano, the hate, the same, worse, or better?
I think to me it's worse because you don't start start Frey, you don't bring in Frey for Wagon, you bring in Lujan for Wagon.
Amanda's still in panic mode. Miami
Yeah.
King says same. Brian Fink says same.
Yeah.
Toniak says same. Adarsh says same. Krabs.
What are we
same.
doing? What are we doing with Wagon? And why are we still bringing Lujan in for Wagon? Why don't you like Ian Frey, Mascherano?
Shout out to that dude abides. He said mash out. Dennis Lopez super out. Now we can't say out because we have no replacement right now, so that's not gonna happen.
Yes.
But how are you feeling about him? I'm feeling better. He made in-game adjustments.
Dude, he brought in Baltasar. He has a new toy in Baltasar Rodriguez.
But he
the
made
toy broke.
He saw that Segovia wasn't working up top, so he brought him back. He put Allende up there, right? Instead of playing that false nine with Messi, he went out with a 4-4-2. He's doing different things.
He brought out a brand new toy for you, Danny, to be happy about. It broke down within 17 minutes, and we sent it back to the shop for warranty.
Look, I'm not happy with it, okay? But everybody's so doom and gloom. I'm trying to tell you what the positives are. And there are some positives here. If he was still playing the same formation, playing the same way, telling Jordi Alba to stay back so he doesn't get beat on the counter, if all those things are still happening, then I get it. But he's changing things up.
Listen, right now, you want to know what's positive coming up is that Suarez is coming back from his stupid wedding crap. That's what's positive. For all of you that wanted Suarez out.
And Suarez is an Orlando killer.
Yeah. For all of you that wanted Suarez out, you guys are eating shit right now. Because you guys got a handful of a nothing burger with Alan Obando. And then you had a tandem in Ben Krem and Segovia as your striker opposition.
And Miami Heat didn't see what he changed. Well, to start the game, Tadeo Allende was not playing as a forward. Segovia was. And in the game, he saw that he needed to stretch the field, so he put Tadeo Allende up top, and he brought Segovia back. He saw that Kremaki wasn't doing crap, so he put in Baltasar Rodriguez at half. He's doing things. Right? Everybody was unhappy with Redondo in the midfield, right? Everybody, Redondo, Brighton, Busquets, it doesn't work. So what did he do? Redondo didn't start today. Kremaki started instead, which is what you were asking for. So he's not being stubborn. He's trying to figure things out. Yes, it's not the greatest positive in the world. I'm not saying, oh my God, Mascherano, even though I was messing around on Twitter and I said Mascherano coach of the year a couple times, but he is changing a couple things, and I'm hoping that he can figure things out because at the moment we do not have a replacement. So I'm trying to find the positives because this is what we got to work with, and we didn't lose.
Yeah, we didn't lose. That's a positive, and Luis Suarez is coming back. It's time to go to sleep and wake up the same calendar day.
Ooh, yeah, that's one way to put it. All right, I'm gonna try my best to be up in about 3 hours, also 2.5. All right, if you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow night at 9:00 to do an Orlando preview. That one should be interesting. It's rivalry week in the MLS, so we'll be back for that tomorrow night. For those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, please leave us some nice comments. Let us know what you think of all the questions we asked. Let us know how much you hate Chris because apparently his ball knowledge is horrible, and how he deserves the Capena Award. And by the way, I was talking to Fabian. I let him know that he's going to be nominated for Worst Guest of the Year after yesterday's takes. Nice. So, so we have a new nominee. Tommy, you have a challenger. And for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us, especially on a late night. I don't know how many of you guys are in the East Coast here in the United States, but if you are, it's about to be 2 a.m. So we appreciate you hanging out with us for an hour and 5 minutes. And as always, you guys are the best part of the show. It's just not the same without you. So we appreciate you hanging out with us. And we will be back on and look, you have some support, Chris.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. Same calendar day as Chris said. So until the next one in a couple of hours, have a good one.
Bye, Felicia.